What's going on here, Jet fans? Appreciate you stopping in. The Jets just wrapped up their first of two joint practices with the Carolina Panthers. Here to give you the bullet points. If you appreciate them, a thumbs up is an easy way to show it. And if you want them all summer long, you can subscribe to the channel. Hope you all enjoyed Hard Knocks last night. Really good episode. No spoilers here, just talking about practice. First things first, some roster moves. The Jets released offensive tackle Yandy Kajust. He was injured, and they brought in Grant Hermans, who, if you remember, was here last year, starting all those fights with Michael Clemens during practice. So he's here. I don't think has a shot to make the 53. Honestly, I think they just need another body for some wear and tear in these preseason games. But Grant Hermans is back, former undrafted free agent find of the Jets last year. Other injury news: Sauce Gardner sitting out with a quad. Doesn't seem to be anything too serious. Said he felt something and they just want to take it slow. Garrett Wilson participating in team drills, but in individual drills, but not in teams just yet. Carl Lawson sitting out the second day in a row with back tightness. Bryce Hall, cornerback, Chaz Surratt, linebacker, and Jared Bernard Converse, rookie defensive back, all missing practice. None of those seem to be anything serious. We're still kind of waiting on an update on Jared Bernard Converse. A little mystery there. Dwayne Brown and Breece Hall obviously still remain on the pup. Robert Saleh said, quote, no doubt about it, unquote, when asked if Dwayne Brown will be ready for week one. Overall trends from today's practice: a ton of penalties all over the place on both teams, on both offensive lines, and the Carolina secondary specifically were flagged often. Rodgers seemed sharp today. No picks, was visibly upset early, had a lot of drops and some poor pass pro from the Jets early on. But that seemed to settle down a bit, and the Jets pivoted to a lot of quick game, a lot of dump offs and screens to tight ends and running backs. Had a 40-yard touchdown to Alan Lazard on a beautiful throw per our guy Richie from Jets Media. Michael Nania also down there, who's a local Carolinian himself. Corey Davis and all the tight ends seem to be featured still in that intermediate 8 to 12-yard range. In the move the ball period at the end, the Jets offense did go 3 and out with Rodgers going 1 for 2 and then a would-be sack there. Zach Wilson seemed to have an overall solid day. A lot of quick stuff again, willing to use his feet a little bit more. He did have 2 interceptions, one to end practice. He was picked off by a linebacker. And then the other one, it went off of Kenny Aboa's hands. That was a drop that was picked off. He continues to build some chemistry with undrafted free agent wide receiver Xavier Gibson. The Jets' defensive line was feasting. Yeah, look, they're going to be good. They're going to beat our offensive line. They're going to beat everybody's offensive line. This is a top 3 to 4 unit in football, no doubt about it. Trevor Sikkema from PFF said that the Jets rotation, their first team, the second team, and the third team defensive line was better than Panthers' first, second, and third team. Clemens, Q, and Tanzel Smart, particularly up the middle, causing havoc, and the speed of Huff and Will McDonald off the edge, just giving the Carolina Panthers offensive line a hard time. Seemed to be stout in the run game. I didn't see a lot of tweets, even from the Carolina Panthers beat side of things, about any explosive runs or anything like that. The Jets offensive line, the run game is continuing to improve. Seems like 3 or 4 practices in a row where we've seen positive notes on the run game, way more explosive runs, a couple from Izzy, who we'll get to in our standouts at the end. Not a lot of pressure seems to be coming up the middle, so the guard center guard combo seems to be holding their own in pass pro. Continues to be a struggle for Billy Turner and Max Mitchell, though, both giving up multiple sacks. Early on, the pass pro was pretty brutal to start the day. With Mitchell getting beat twice by Burns, Becton getting beat on a spin move by Burns that the Panthers tweeted out. This pretty nice move, kind of reminded me of Will McDonald a little bit. But Becton was dominant again in the run game, multiple pancakes, and it seems to be like he gives up 1 sack a day, but is killing it in the run game and is clean in pass pro since then. That seems to be his practice note for the past 6 or 7 days, stacked around an impressive showing, even in limited snaps of the Hall of Fame game. So I would say the arrow is definitely pointing up for Mekhi Becton. Other standouts besides Mekhi, who I would say overall had a very good practice, Izzy Abanikanda. First time you're seeing those multiple explosive runs. One did get called back from a holding, but whatever. Like he's still, he's got that juice that we saw in the Hall of Fame game, and it seems to be starting to put it together a little bit as a rookie. 20-year-old is head spinning to start the first few days of camp. Brandon Echols had a pick 6, stepping in for Sauce Gardner. Tony Adams had multiple passes defended and forced a fumble. Jason Brownlee and Xavier Gibson have seemed to separate themselves from the pack of that cluster of undrafted free agent practice squad level wide receivers. Brownlee a favorite target of Boyle, Gibson a favorite target of Zach Wilson. who struggled today. Hardman did have multiple drops today, and then Billy Turner and Max Mitchell in pass pro continues to be a little bit of a weak point for the Jets offensive line. And then Jordan Whitehead had a little bit of a rough day in coverage. So it's one practice. So if you want to put people in the Hall of Fame or cut them from the team after, like, all of that is up to you. I'm just telling you guys what happened. Appreciate you hanging out, and we'll talk ball soon.